You're going to be able to sell to just about anyone after this episode. Let's talk about it. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of another Cozy Morning podcast. I'm your host Michaela, and I am so happy that you are here joining with me in this podcast. I strive to create a community of people that don't want to be a part of hustle culture, that want to align themselves with their business and just live a cozy lifestyle, even as a business owner of a freelance business or just a business in general. We are on episode 3 of a series I'm calling the Cozy CEO Era, and I'm so excited about this. I feel like this is the best series that I could have thought of for being my second series in this podcast. If you're just finding me on this episode, this is a fairly new podcast, so you have time to catch up. You know, there's sometimes where I find a podcast and I'm like, oh, I love this podcast, and then I am like, wow, they're on episode like 200 and I want to listen to all of them. I want to be caught up. I want to be a part of the community. And so I will listen to the one and then kind of like binge from the beginning until the new episode comes out. I don't know if anybody else is like that, but that's just me. I'm super happy that you're here. Don't forget to like or follow if you're watching or listening to this on Spotify or YouTube or Apple, and make sure to turn the notification bell on so every time I post a new episode, you are notified every Wednesday. I do want to say though that today, what time is it? It is 9:44 a.m. We are actually recording in the morning, y'all. And so I had to close one of my windows because the sun was coming through it and you could see like the lines of the blinds on my face. And I was like, wow, this is what it's like actually recording in the morning. So grab your coffee, grab your tea, grab your water, whatever is going to make you feel cozy this episode, because what I'm talking about is not so cozy, and that's selling. Yes, we are talking about selling and the ick factor that comes with it. Trying to sell your product or your services is just so icky to me. I just don't like doing it because I feel like it can become so ungenuine, but I feel like I found the perfect way to sell without it feeling so forced, and I'm going to talk about it. All right, I want to address a business model that I do not care for. I don't want to come for it as I'm bashing it because I've been a part of them, but the kind of like stigma and the status quo of this business model, I feel like is just not it for me. That is multi-level marketing, or most people know it as MLM. And I want to talk about why the strategies I feel like of MLM are so icky. It has the ick factor for sure. One of the biggest issues I see with MLMs are that they strip somebody of their personality and their genuineness. As a person who runs my own business, I see the importance of showing my business looking like me. When you're running an MLM, you're almost taking on the personality of the person who created the business instead of the personality of you. And that's what I don't care for. Suddenly, every conversation turns into an opportunity to be a sales pitch. Your Instagram becomes a highlight reel of product testimonials. Your Facebook is flooded with "hey girl" messages, and your family gatherings turn into impromptu product demonstrations. I will use myself as an example because I was a part of an MLM, and I remember being at my grandparents' house. My family was hanging out, and in my bag, in my purse, I had like 5 or 6 of the product. They gave us like these little samples. Somebody said, "Hey Michaela, how's X going?" I don't want to say the name of the company. They're like, "How's X going?" And I was like, "Oh, it's good. I actually have some samples for you." Like, that shouldn't have been my first answer. My first answer should have been how I love the product, how it's been really great for my nails, how I loved it, and just kept it at that, and not been like, "Do you want to try?" It's like, I don't know. That's just not it for me. Not it at all. The person you are, your unique qualities, your interests, your quirks, your perspectives, they all go out the window with this business model. It all gets buried under sales script and marketing strategies. And the worst part is the people in your life start to see you not as just a friend, a sister, or a colleague, but somebody that's always trying to sell them something. And you never want to become a business over a person. This approach isn't just uncomfortable for your audience, but also for you. How tiring would it be to constantly be selling, to constantly be on? It's not sustainable and it's unfulfilling. Now, please do not come for me. I know people, I have friends that do MLMs, and I want to support them because they make it so genuine. They don't take every opportunity and every conversation we have to sell me a product. And that's what makes me want to support. Don't come for me, because I know people do it and do it well. But just like I said, the whole status quo, the way that these businesses are run kind of fits that. And I've run into a lot of people that have fit that mold as well. So what's the alternative? This is where cozy marketing comes in. Cozy marketing is about creating genuine connections first, then providing value consistently and letting sales flow naturally from there. It's marketing that feels good to you and to your audience. Here are some things of cozy marketing that I found very, very effective. Number one is to lead with value and not sales. Instead of immediately pitching your product or your service, start with figuring out how you can actually help X person. So you can do this by sharing your knowledge freely. Some creators that I follow that do a really good job of this are It's Modern Millie and Tess Barclay from Busy Blooming. I love watching them for content creation, but also just knowing that they're giving me actual information that I can use in their free content before I go and buy their paid content. But an example of somebody like me who is a video editor, somebody could come and ask me a question about how do I do this, and instead of saying, oh, I'm not going to tell you, I'll just edit it for you and you can pay me, it would be more of like, no, I'll help you, I'll tell you what it is. And that's showing not only my expertise, but it's showing my value, and that it shows that I'm good at what I do. You can also create content that solves problems or brings joy. When people see you as a valuable resource, they'll naturally be interested in what you're offering. Number two is to tell your story authentically. People really connect with stories and not sales pitches. Share your journey, share your ups, share your downs, share the lessons that you've learned. When you talk about your product or service, frame it within your authentic experience. Saying, this helped me when I was struggling with X is better than saying, buy this amazing product now. If you are struggling with the same thing and that product helped that person, you're more likely to say, it helped them, it might be able to work for me. Instead of saying, buy this amazing product. Well, what does the product do? Why do I need it? What's the purpose? Number three is to build a community and not just a customer base. Focus on creating a space that makes people feel like they're supported, makes people feel like this person knows exactly what I need. So this means don't make it all about you. So respond to comments, engage in conversations, and celebrate when they celebrate. When people feel like they are a part of your community and not just another dollar sign, they're more likely to support your business. Number four is respect boundaries. We must recognize that not everybody is our ideal client. And that's okay. Not everybody is for everybody. Don't push your products on friends and family who have and shown no interest. This is also why last week when I was talking about ways that you can get clients, and I was saying maybe like cold DM people, that's just what I saw people say, but I was very hesitant to tell you to do that because I don't believe that just cold DMing somebody and being like, hey, you should try my product is the way to make people feel like they're a part of a community or make people feel like they should be using your product. Ugh, I need to switch my foot. It's falling asleep here. Instead, make your offerings known to the people who are interested, the people that follow you, the people that have shown interest to you by emailing you or calling you or just in your day-to-day life asked you about your services and have said something to the degree of, oh yeah, I'd be interested. Pin it and then say, okay, they said they were interested. Let me let them know about the deal I'm offering and leave it at that. Okay. And last but not least is to embrace the slow burn. Cozy marketing is not about quick sales or viral growth hacks. It's about building trust over time. It might take longer to I feel like I just had like the strongest Canadian accent ever when I said take. It might take longer to see results, but the connections you build will be stronger and more sustainable. When sales and going viral aren't your main focus and genuinely trying to help somebody solve a problem is, you will see a world of a difference. Okay, so let's talk about some practical examples so you can kind of see what I mean for all of these things. So the first one is content creation. Instead of saying, check out my new course that will change your life, only 3 spots left, buy now. Try creating a free workshop that targets a specific pain point your audience has. At the end, briefly mention that if they enjoyed the free course and they'd like to go deeper, they liked more, that you have another course available. That way there is no pressure. It's just an invitation for people who want more. Are interested. Example number 2 is social media. Instead of flooding your feed with promotional content, product, all the things, try sharing your life. Try sharing your interests and the behind the scenes of your business. When you do mention your products or services, frame it as, this is what I've been working on. I'm so excited to share this with you, instead of, you need to buy this. The last example is networking. Instead of attending events that your primary goal is to make clients, make customers, try focusing on making genuine connections and figuring out how you can help. Be interested in people as people first. If the conversation naturally turns into what you do, then share it, obviously, but don't force it. Make it authentic. Now, I want to be clear on something. Cozy marketing isn't not selling anything. You are running a business. You do have to promote. You do have to market. The difference is how and when you promote those services or products. So here are some good times that you can be more direct about what you're doing. Number 1 is when somebody explicitly shows interest in what you do, your product or your service. Number 2 is during planned launches or promotions when your audience knows that you're coming. Number 3 is in spaces specifically designed for selling, aka your shop page, or maybe you created an email list that people opted into. Notice this is giving people the option and not forcing it. So even in these contexts, you can still be cozy by being honest, being authentic, and focusing on how your offerings help solve a real problem. And of course, giving people the chance to decide for themselves and not forcing it. Don't force it. Please don't force it. So at its core, cozy marketing requires a mindset shift. Instead of seeing marketing as something that you do to people, getting them to buy, see it as something that you do for people, helping them solve an issue or a problem. When you truly believe in the value of what you're offering, it turns more into acts of service than an act of persuasion. You're not tricking people into buying what you offer, but you're helping the right people find exactly what they need. So my cozypreneurs, I hope that this helped you find what you are needing to be a cozy marketer and not give people the ick when you're trying to sell. You do not have to choose between being authentic and successful. The most sustainable businesses are built on genuine connections and real value, not high pressure sales tactics that makes everybody feel icky. Everybody in the whole situation just feels icky. So let's check in real quick. Whether it was something that I said today or something that you've thought of, what are some of your favorite cozy marketing strategies that don't give people the ick? So I genuinely hope that this helped you. It's just so ironic that my whole video was about being genuine and helping others. So of course, I'm going to tell you to like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, push all the buttons everywhere, because it lets me know and it lets YouTube know that you like this type of content, or if I should just move on. It also will let YouTube know and show you not only my content, but more content like this, and you'll get all the cozy content that you could ever imagine, whether it be cozy games or cozy hobbies or cozy entrepreneur, whatever it is, you'll get it. So make sure to do that. There's also a Ko-fi page below that you can buy me a coffee and support this podcast 100%. And I truly, truly, truly thank each and every person who decides to support me in this podcast. Wow, my words just left my brain in that way. And I will see you next week for another episode of another cozy morning, but of the series, your cozy CEO era. And until then, bye everybody.